how needed we are, how necessary we are, and how loud our voices can be to change the world. He is the one who shakes.
Yep.
So don't let him make you shake. You want to be the one, and I know I'm the one now. It took years to get there, but I know full well that every morning when my eyes open and my feet hit the carpet, I know the enemy is like, damn, she is up again. I live an out loud, bold life to cause hell for the enemy.
That's right.
And I will continue to do that because I finally got a clue that he is no threat to me. I am a threat to him. Every single one of you in here, we know who God is. God has given us a purpose and a destiny, and there is a calling on our life. And when we understand what it is, and when we run our race with that passion and that perseverance, the only one mad is the devil. And I don't know about you, but making him mad, honey, that is a good calling on my life. So aside from those accolades, one of the things that I'm most proud of for Mastering the Journey is that this year we embarked on a brand new relationship. I do work part-time. I'm an adjunct professor at Grand Canyon University. I've been at Grand Canyon for 10 or 11 years. I've been at Living Word Bible Church for 24 years. And in my relationship at GCU, I just go to GCU, I just teach. I do what I'm called to do. Every semester, I get to pray for students. Every semester, I get to encourage and inspire. But last semester, I was at an event for adjuncts. I was at a servant leadership event. And I kept passing by the president, Brian Mueller. And then I saw him again at graduation. And I had my regalia with me. And he passed by me and he said, "Congratulations." And I looked at him and I was like, oh, he don't know who I am. I'm not wearing this regalia because I'm graduating. I'm wearing this regalia because I'm part of your staff. So I was like, oh, we got to fix that. And I have a great relationship with the provost and with the dean. And so after graduation, I walked up and I introduced myself to him. I said, "Thank you for telling me congratulations." I said, "But I actually work for you. I'm an adjunct professor." And he's like, "What's your name again?" And I told him my name. And actually, that graduation ceremony, a student gave me a shout out. And she said, "I also want to acknowledge Dr. D." She goes, "That's how we call her. Because she is like having your favorite godmother teaching you in class. She'll pray for you. She'll give you pow-pows when you need them. She will love you. And she's very intentional." So he heard my name the same day I introduced myself. You know, God is not a God of coincidences. God is a God of purpose and intent. And so after I sat down and I introduced myself to him, he said, I need to know a little bit more about you. Now I'm thinking in my head, you sure do. But I played it cool. I was like, that'd be great. Thank you. Let's set something up. And you know, when, you know, someone who is high up in their organization, this is the president of GCU. And he says, "I need to hear more of your story." No problem. Didn't even think anything about it. I said, "God, this is up to you, whatever you want to do with this." But about a month later, his secretary called me and said, "President Mueller asked me to reach out to you because he wants to sit down and meet with you." Okay, so we sat down and we met. He said, "Tell me a little bit about you." And I said, "Well, what do you want to know?" He said, "Well, what's the highlight of your story?" I said, "I come from domestic violence. When I was 5 years old, I watched my mother get violently beat by my stepfather. And she almost didn't survive. He stabbed her in the head. He knocked out all but 6 of her teeth. And I'm 5 years old in the bathroom watching my family members pick glass out of her hair because my stepdad hit her over the head with a red vase. and he punched her and he stabbed her. And it left an indelible mark on my heart and on my character, that it doesn't matter who I am, where I go, who I'm with, I have to be the biggest, baddest thing walking. And that's how I displayed. So people who met me early in ministry at Living Word, I have a few references in the room, but I'm not going to talk about them. Because they'd be like, yep, she was like that. I was abrasive. I was abrupt. I was rude. I was not kind. I said whatever I thought I needed to say just to get you to back up. And it was because the cry of my heart was for love. But I didn't feel love. I didn't feel acceptance. And so I felt if I was the biggest threat, then no one would be able to threaten me. And then here comes this little bitty lady, about 4'9", in these 6-inch heels, and she goes, I just want to be your mama. I'm like, lady, I don't need no mama. I'm grown. And the one I had struggled with the job, so there is no opening for this position. And Dr. Maureen continued to just love me and have patience with me. And both she and Dr. Tom said something that ultimately changed my life. They said, we love you more as a person than anything you will ever do for us as an employee. And those words have remained true for nearly 25 years. And knowing that and really being part of the family, when I get introduced by the Andersons, it's usually, this is my sis, or this is my daughter. Dr. Marie just taught Thursday night at Women's Ministry, and she said, thank you to my daughter. And that means a lot to me, because I know that every human being is designed for love, to give love and to receive love. And when we are not given that love, that receptacle for receiving it dwindles, and its capacity to hold love diminishes. And it is not until someone helps you increase your capacity to love that it actually grows and it develops. And this ministry and this night tonight is in celebration of all that God has done. And so me sitting down and meeting with President Mueller, he asked me a lot of questions about the nonprofit. He asked me, he's like, who are you? He said, everywhere I go on this campus, I hear Dr. D, Dr. D, Dr. D. And I'm like, my bad. I said, that's just who I am. He said, but why are you like that? I said, well, when I think about the ministry of Jesus Christ, the thing that stands out to me is that it doesn't matter who Jesus touched. He left an indelible mark.
That's right.
And that has become the calling on my life, is that after I interact with you, after I walk away, you're going to end up saying, who in the world is that black face? You may not know exactly why, but you know that I planted a seed that no one can uproot. That's right. You know I'm an encourager. You know I love God and I love his people. And I don't care who the people are. I don't ask you to behave a certain way. I don't ask you to act a certain way. If you want to come to church smelling like a fifth on Sunday afternoon, I just care that you're in church. That's right. Yeah. We'll get you saved.
That's right.
Just come into the house, come into the door. I don't care if you smell like 3 different types of weed. Come on in the house. I don't care if you're slumped down on the seat from the night before, it's the morning after the night before. I don't care about any of that, because there is no place that we can go to where God's love can't rescue us.
Come on.
And restore us. And so that meeting with President Mueller turned into an amazing opportunity that I can't even wrap my mind around. President Mueller says, you need to become a pod for CityServe. Now, CityServe is an organization that's sponsored by GCU that has a warehouse on GCU's campus that is 100,000 square feet of products, goods, appliances, anything you could possibly think of is in this warehouse on campus. And he said you should become a point of distribution, so that's a pod. So I filled out the paperwork. I told Councilwoman about it. I was like, I don't even know what to do with this. Go, girl, take it. Hurry up, take it. And it's easy to hear, take it. But my heart was like, what are you gonna do with this kind of access? And the Lord said, do what you've always done. He said, trust me.
Yes.
I will navigate who gets it. I'll navigate and lead you to the right person. And ever since then, we've been a point of distribution, probably for about the last 7 months. We have given away microwaves, clothing, desks for kids, beds. We've given away so much stuff. You literally go shopping online. You order what you want. They pack it. You come pick it up and you drop it off. So there are organizations all over this city, all over the valley, that are helping make a difference in the lives of women and children. So I am most grateful for the opportunity to become part of City Serve, the opportunity from President Mueller. President Mueller knows who I am. Like, that's crazy to me. But then someone a couple weeks ago, when I said that, they said, no, you know who President Mueller is, but President Mueller knows who you are, because that's how the Lord set it up.
Right.
Yes. And I'm very grateful for that. Even my friend Adrian, I've used his truck. He has an electric truck. Thank you, Jesus, no gas. And we've gone and we've picked up stuff, and we've set up beds, and we've set up desks, and we've set up. And you know, sometimes the women are super grateful. Sometimes the women are super snarky. And when they're snarky, I just laugh, because I was like, Lord, little girl, you don't even know who you're talking to right now. Right? What you're doing is like small snark. I used to do it big. I used to run with the big dog.
With boots too.
You're not scaring me right now. You know, bring it in, put it over here. No problem. I don't like this desk. I said, well, this is the only one we had. So I can take it back. No, it's fine. Okay. It's whatever you want, sis. It's no problem. Because sometimes when you're afraid, and sometimes when you're so accustomed to getting beat up by the world, you're almost afraid to trust. You're afraid to open up. You're afraid to love, because you're afraid that someone is going to try to take advantage of you. And you try to hold on to everything that you have. And sometimes everything isn't good enough, no matter what it is. So it's really just been the grace of God and the mercy of God to strategically place me where He wants me and where He needs me, so that I can be effective. So those are the things that we've been able to do in 2023. That City Serve and that being a point of distribution for GCU, that's huge. That's something that I couldn't have paid for, that the Lord literally. I say this quite often, and I still mean it. God treats me better than I deserve. And I don't say it as a false sense of humility. I say it because I mean it. All of us who know the Lord and the power of His blood, we are truly better than we deserve. Yes. We deserve death and the grave. But God, in His infinite kindness and wisdom and mercy and grace, carved a path of reconciliation and restoration. And He took on what we deserved so that we could have what He deserves. Yes. And I'm grateful. Yes. And that's why I don't judge people. That's why there's nothing in my heart but love for people, because I still remember what it was like to have nothing. I remember convincing my children that spaghetti was made out of ramen noodles. And then when they got old enough to figure out what real spaghetti was, you know, my son was like, "Where's the curly noodles?" I said, "Oh, we eating a different kind of spaghetti." This the one with the straight noodles. I was like, "This real spaghetti." And I'm grateful for everything that the Lord has blessed me with. We will not stop. This is not designed for me. This is in honor of the Lord and everything that He has done. And every breath that I take, every breath that I enjoy will be lived to His glory and to touch and change lives. With that in mind, there is a couple of goals that we have for next year. Oh, some other things that we had. Thank you, Holy